Okay, why not? Troubleshooting landscape lights. So these are all hooked to a transformer, which I just closed over the photocell, as you saw. So usually what happens out here, the mower or somebody will cut the wires or whatever. So here last night cleaning the lenses. These are straight a razor blade to clean off the water or whatever. And then you get this thing. Why isn't it any good? These are LEDs, so they don't go out often, but they do go out. They usually lose a few of their lights will go out. So unlike what you would think, the transformer puts out 12 volts AC, not DC. And what do we got here? Yeah, I got 8.5 volts AC. What do I got DC? Nothing. So, oddly enough, that light should be working, which is good, which means I didn't need to dig any of this stuff up. I was looking for an obvious break in the wire last night. So that bulb's no good. I got a new one. These are the equivalent of 50 watters. I usually put 35 watters in them, but we had to get these for something one time. So let me put a new bulb in there. I already know the answer to this. Does this one work? Huh, no. That's interesting. So what we're going to do is keep track of those. We're going to go down to the next one here that works. Make sure these light bulbs are good. Alright. That's bright. Gasket. Lens. Fry out the bulb. Try not to burn yourself because they get hot. Okay, here's our existing light bulb from the other one. Now we're going to see if the bulb's an issue or if it's that socket that's an issue. Even though we got voltage, it may not be reaching the pins. And there we go. It's telling me that the socket on that light gasket goes in there. And that sounds kind of weird. You'd think the gasket might go the other place, but it doesn't. The gasket goes up in there to seal the top. Okay. So that tells me this is a brand new, very good working bulb. No reason to think that my new bulb is bad. Let's go and double check that just for the heck of it. Maybe the pins are longer on this one. Doesn't look like it. So chances are we have a problem with the light fixture itself. I have to go see if I can find another one that'll see if I can scavenge up another salvage. Test it. Yep. Fixture issue. Just to double check in case nothing's changed here. In case anything's changed. Although it doesn't appear like anything's changed. There's my 8.5 volts. Alright. Looks like I gotta go get another light fixture. Okay, so out here, the way we have these run, the way I have these run, I have 2 transformers inside. There's, we get a dozen lights out here, so there's like 6 on each transformer. We split them. I split them, run them through the wall in one spot. I got a wire running along the wall, and then I've just tapped into it, and it runs out here. Somewhere out here is going to be, bingo, a connection where we tap into that wire. So one wire onto each end, and I tape them up. Some electrical tape. It's amazing, they do just fine in water. It rains, this place floods, doesn't affect the lights whatsoever. They work fine. I never tried to immerse them completely in water, but I've seen them underwater, so they know they work good. Alright, well, I'll have to pull on those to get those out of here. In our case, amongst all this crap piled up, we have a transformer box right here, which you just simply have to plug in. A couple of uneven wires cut at the bottom. This puts out the 12 volts AC for testing the light fixtures. This sits on the end of our bench so we can work on the light fixtures. Very odd. I just hooked the light bulbs directly to the wires coming out of this, and we couldn't get anything until finally one lit up, and then I hooked it to the old fixture and it works again. So I don't know what happened there, but you know what, stuff happens sometimes. Okay, back at the tree. Got this thing in here, got my wires. As I mentioned, these things stay underwater. You can see in there, that's pretty rusted. Those are pretty rusted. So what happens if we hook these up? Nothing. Oh, that's freaking bizarre. We just had this thing going in the shop. I gotta monkey a little more. Wasn't that interesting? So, I hook my wires up out here. Sure, I still got voltage. Still got my 8.5 volts. But just look. So I got 8.5 volts with nothing plugged in. Oh, for crying out loud. Pardon me while I whip this out. So just to confirm, this is going to be interesting. I have to figure it out. 8.5 volts. So it makes sense. 8.5 volts is plenty. Nothing. So what about out here? It's busy out there. Look at this. They're plugged in, they got 2.7 volts. So with a little load, something weird's going on out here. I don't know if it's... I wonder if I got a bad connection up the road. Let me go check that. I want to go ahead and put these new terminals on here. I don't see anything wrong in here. I'm going to head up that way and see if I can find the wire connection. Maybe there's a problem where it's hooked up, connected to the other main line. So heading towards the wall, I made it pretty straightforward. And looky here, come across, there's the wire. So it's going to be tapped in across this main wire, I would say right here. So, and I split these out so that they're not right on top of each other. So there's my connection here. So I'm going to open that up. I have the light plugged in. So the load is on it. I'm looking around with this one to keep an eye on the light. Light's still out. And there's the other part. Yeah, these are in the ground and subject to being flooded and all that. Sometimes there's issues. Okay, I got some wire right there. Let's get our meter over here. I gotta open this up a little bit. Give me a second. Alright, still got no light. I got 13.6 volts there. So where it's tapped in is just dandy, so most likely it's somewhere in this wire that I got a problem. So let me just cut some new ends on there and see what happens. Well, something's happened because now I only have 2 volts or something. I can do this. Where's he getting that reflection? Because I'm not seeing any reflection where I'm at. I need my clips. That's it. That's the best I can get there. That's interesting. Since I was monkeying with this and now I lost some voltage. So I'm going to redo these, and since I got 15 volts out here, and see what happens. It still may just be bad, that wire may be bad all the way out somehow. Well, so I just checked, I had 13.5 volts still. These connections look good. As you can see, I wrap them around really good. And as I'm standing up, I'm thinking, okay, it must be down in the wire. Really? Did I think that? Here we go. So when I pulled these wire up, it got caught with a weed eater or lawnmower. And there's our problem. So I need another piece of wire from there to the light. It's weird how that diagnosis was, but there you go. Tells me the problem. Alright, buried back in our shop we have rolls of this, and I'll show you why. So I've run me some new wire and wrap it around there. We're gonna electrical tape it. The secret is to put it back in the hole because it takes years to get it buried in there where it won't get destroyed. And now, by the magic power of electrons, if I can do this, we have, wherever that other wire is, 13.45 volts. So what happens if we hook it to our light now? Oh, you know what? Just hold on. Alright, so I just hooked it up, and of course, guess what? Light works fine. So the only thing I can think of is that the light fixture was telling me that there was a problem somewhere else, so it refused to comply. So I would keep looking. Sometimes the universe works that way. Alright, that's that. We're going to bury this thing in there. I'm going to wrap up the other stuff in electrical tape, and then I'll show you another interesting thing about this place. So here's the interesting thing. So here I got one wire in there. Apparently when they put this landscape system in, they got paid by the foot on the wiring, because what they did for no reason was to run a piece of wire to each light, and they had a light on every single one of those things. So there's about, I don't know, 2.5 miles of this wire. There are bundles of this I put in the shop. Wow. So we ever need any, I just pulled it all down here and twisted it up. Makes no sense other than the fact they got paid by the foot or something, because these things were...
Is that hooked up to anything?
Oh, no. They were all running down the wall all the way through this place. Unique to our installation here This is the transformer, of course, and the photocell that runs the west side of our lights out there. This is plugged in. I made a little pigtail and plugged it into this box. Unfortunately, in this box is a GFI breaker. This nice big heavy cord which goes into this timer box up here runs this water fountain out there. So every once in a while there'll be trouble with the water fountain. It'll draw too much juice, it'll trip the GFI or whatever, something reason. If this GFI trips, then our lights go out on the outside. So it's one of the things we know you troubleshoot. If the lights are out and we come in here and that fountain's not going, then chances are it's just this GFI's tripped. So here's the one wire I have coming out this side, goes through the wall, runs down the entire thing. Those 6 lights or whatever, that's all it needs is one wire with them tapped in on top of that. This is just incredibly outrageously dumb that they put these in. One light per tree out there, so they had, I don't know, there's 50 trees or something. They had one light on every tree. I've got them spread out about 20 feet each between them. So that's what we have right now. LED bulbs and all those things now, so they last a lot longer and they're nice and bright. And shine up in the tree, makes it look nice and pretty at night. Okay, so look at our pretty lights. Waited to post this until I could get a look at what they look like. Now it's not dark, but it's close. This is what they look like when they're working. We like to keep them all nice and pretty. Just takes a little bit of work. Yeah, looks like these on this end are working a little better. Alright, there you go.